Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh! What song is this? I don't even know.
Maroon 5, Sugar.
Sugar. Oh. Oh. Oh.
This is what they play at the food truck.
Yes.
Where did she get this from?
Hey, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to another Stalker After Show here on AfterBuzz TV, episode 16, Salvation. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment on that YouTube channel, iTunes, SoundCloud, all of those things here at AfterBuzz TV. Use the hashtag ABTVStalker if you could. We're getting a little feedback in here. You guys getting the feedback?
I feel it. I hear it.
I don't know what that is. Maybe try turning that back down.
Oh, maybe
I'm not
it's
sure
our
what's
phones.
happening.
Okay, one second here.
Sorry, guys. Try turning your headphones down.
Okay, that's good. I think that's
Good?
I think we got it.
I'm Cameron Lewis.
And I'm Anastacia Waller.
I'm Jade Howard.
And I'm Teresa Law.
The gang is all back tonight for another episode. What'd you guys think? First reactions to tonight's episode.
Whoa.
There's a lot going on. I think it was a really
going on.
high production episode, too. I mean, they brought out the SWAT team, the FBI, helicopters.
They had like bird's eye view. It got real.
Yeah, they pulled
They
out all the
did.
stops.
Stalker got real.
Yeah, the helicopter was in there.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
The bird. Isn't it called the bird?
The bird, yeah.
The chopper.
Yeah,
The chopper, yeah.
I felt like this episode was very LA with the food trucks, first of all.
Yes.
The
First Fridays.
Yes, and then also the whole cult thing with the chakras and the meditation. I'm like, ooh, this is definitely LA.
I
have these friends.
That's what we associate Southern California with.
Chakras, cults, welcome to Los Angeles. Oh, and throwing a nice food truck in there, too.
Gourmet food truck.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, when was the pier? It was like 2 episodes ago now. So we saw the pier. We're seeing a lot of, they mentioned Chatsworth in this episode.
I know. And Chatsworth is a place that nobody's going to know.
Outside of LA, yeah.
Even people in LA are saying,
valid.
Chats what? I'm sorry, say that again. So I love it that they bring this stuff up because to us it's funny because we live here or from here. So when we hear all those LA references, we get it. But I wonder how somebody in like Idaho feels when they hear them. Like, do they Google it?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Is Chatsworth real? Is that really a place?
It is real, you guys.
So we started off the episode tonight by seeing Isabel, who was walking into her apartment, walking through the hallway, all that. And some guy just comes up and says, "Hey, Oscar sent me." That's never a good sign. If somebody walks up to you and says, "Blank sent me," run.
Especially
Just run.
if that's your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
who you have a
especially.
restraining order against.
Typically not a great sign.
No.
And that guy looked scary.
Oh, I know. I would have been. She handled that very calmly. I would have been running a lot sooner.
Yes.
So-
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would have been, yeah.
I would have entertained him at all. I would have just bolted.
Who? What? I'm out. End of episode.
Needless to say, this guy didn't give up. She has to run all over the place. She runs down to another floor. She goes to her friend
Neighbor's
Lucy's
house.
apartment, slams the door shut. Now, Anastacia brought up a good point when we were watching the episode tonight, which is if somebody was knocking on your door frantically, screaming your name, let me in, oh my God, help, would you guys let him in?
If I recognized the voice, if it was someone familiar,
Yeah.
then I would. I mean, I would want to help that friend out. But if it was someone I didn't recognize at all, I would have, not opened the door and hid.
Yeah. Jade.
That was such a nice,
She's amping
politically
it up.
correct answer.
I mean it. I wasn't trying to be.
No, maybe if it was my mom, but then it's like there's danger out there, and obviously where I am, it's safe. Why would
Right,
I?
so you're
let
possibly
that-
inviting it in.
I don't know how close that person is behind you. that's gonna like.
So if it was any of us, you'd be like, all right. Go back and do my thing. And, I'm not going to investigate that.
But I know what you're saying.
You guys are putting me in a really awkward position because we have like a few more episodes left to do. Now nobody's gonna like to work with me anymore. Great. No, I don't know if I would open it.
I feel like if it's happening frantically the way that it was, you wouldn't be able to think quick enough if it was a familiar voice. So I don't know. Something similar has kind of happened to me. I told you guys this in the screening room, and I did not open the door. I feel like maybe if it's a female voice, I'd be more likely to, or a child.
Oh, thanks.
But if it's
I really appreciate it.
No, a child, I have to.
if it was your voice, it depends on the type of male voice. Just kidding, Cameron.
No.
Here we go again.
You can just call 911.
Right, I would say, hey, don't worry, I'm calling 911.
But then, I mean, it's what if it's a pressing situation? See, I agree with Teresa. I think I understand your point, Jade. But I think I agree with Teresa. I think I'd let him in if I recognize the voice. I'd peep through the peephole.
Exactly.
Let me explain. That would be step one.
Somewhat out of that peephole.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask our viewers too. If you guys can let us know what you would do if that happened. Would you let somebody in, or would you just help them from inside?
Comment on the YouTube channel.
Let us know.
Tweet us using that hashtag ABTV Stalker. We see some more go down. And what happens? We see Isabel in the LAPD. She's talking to Beth. She has the restraining order against Oscar. So this is the obvious route to take.
And
to
she has
look
her
into
friend
Oscar.
there. What was her friend's name? Lucy there.
Lucy.
Egging it on. Oh, he's a drug addict. He was just bad news bear.
Total LA boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oscar's played by Jade Howard, by the way, who was in Revolution.
Oh. J.D. Pardo. Oscar Ramirez.
Yes.
What did you guys think of Oscar?
He was cute. That's what you meant, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah. No, I don't know. I was looking, I was like, he's really nice bone structure.
I didn't suspect him. I thought he would have been an easy target.
Yeah, I didn't suspect him. Did you believe him when he said he had gotten sober, or do you think that was just kind of like a farce to get the cops to go away?
I believe that he didn't do it. It was too early in for him to have done it. Right. So I wasn't buying that it was him. They were just,
We're over that. We're so too far into Stalker to believe it's the ex-boyfriend.
Right.
We don't already,
That was so 10 episodes ago.
Exactly.
Maybe you would have had me, but not anymore, baby.
How about that scene, the interrogation scene, though? Ben and Jack were just like, kind of douching it up a little bit with him.
Yeah.
They were just like being like, sorry, I bet your father was drinking too. And he's like, yeah, that's right. Like, yeah, I just made that up.
But I think that it's also cool to see how everyone's relationships since episode 1 have evolved. Yeah. I mean, you would never have thought to have seen Ben and Jack in an interrogation room working like a team together.
I actually forgot that they were even bickering until you brought that up.
They were definitely in unison.
Yeah, and I love to see that. You see them all coming together and getting used to working with each other, and so that was nice to see that unfold as well while they were interrogating Oscar.
Yeah. We find out Isabel has a little cash coming in.
A little.
Right, $5 million.
Just a tad.
She's inherited from her trust fund.
Yeah, trust fund.
$5 million.
She's an actress. She's living in LA, living the dream. Plugging away in that. And
she's from Illinois.
From Illinois. She's from Illinois.
Town.
Which plays a part later on.
Just a small town girl.
Anyways, yeah, the Illinois thing definitely plays a part later on in a very kind of creepy way. Hashtag Ben gets real, by the way. I wrote that down for the scene whenever Ben is being like really mean to Oscar.
Did you write a hashtag in your notes?
I did. It's right there. I did.
He did. I can confirm that.
Ben
Sources confirm.
Gets real.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hashtag Ben gets real. So Isabel's hopping around the food trucks. Very popular thing that goes down in LA. People happen upon a truck or two, little Kogi.
They use real food trucks.
Right.
I've eaten at some of those food trucks that they showed.
I like that it reminded me of First Fridays.
In Santa Monica?
Or Venice.
Yeah.
Oh, Venice.
Yeah. You just said that?
Oh, I was just thinking
I was like, did I not?
we're just in sync tonight.
I wasn't listening to you. Like, I'm sorry.
Hashtag Ben gets food.
Ben gets food.
So this was a weird scene because this is where we first see multiple people kind of creeping on Isabel.
Yeah.
First the bump, and then you see people like walking by and they're like, and it's like, oh, okay, that was just that person was just intrigued, and then it's like, okay, that was the 17th person that looked at her the wrong way, and then somebody says. What do they say? Like, we're coming after you, right?
Yeah, she hears things. And to me, it sounded very delusional. It sounded like she was just paranoid.
Right.
Her ex-boyfriend is stalking her, and she trusts no one. Why you decide to go to a massive public place for dinner.
By yourself.
Girl, you better order some Thai delivery.
Some delivery.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like there hasn't been. I feel like there hasn't been too many situations where somebody says, "Okay, I'm being stalked. I'm being terribly stalked. I need to actually like move or live in a safe house or something," and then somehow the stalker still finds a way to get them, and that's incredibly terrifying. I feel like we've seen. Oh, you're being stalked and you walk down a tunnel by yourself that has gasoline on the floor.
Right.
Oh, you're being stalked. You're going to stay at a big empty house by yourself. You're going to go out at night. You're going to, so
but at that time, I think she thought it could possibly be Oscar, and you don't really think your ex is going to kill you or hurt you.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's
that's why she
something you
still
wanna
went out
think.
by herself. Like,
Right.
that's not aggressive enough to go to a safe house. I'm just trying to give her the benefit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Man, DiGiorno. That's my answer.
So they dig into it more, obviously. We find out, that was an interesting fact they threw out there, that Janice threw out there, that group stalking is 1%
Right.
of stalking cases.
Or less than 1%.
Yeah.
That is just, stalking alone, terrifying, horrifying thought. Group stalked. That is just like something else entirely.
That's just
That's
taking it
frightening.
to a whole different level. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know why, the scene by the food trucks where like people were crowding around her and then following
There was
the
about
car.
20 people surrounded.
Oh,
It
when
was
she gets in
like-
her car, and she was so nice and polite. She is such a sweet Midwestern girl.
Yeah.
She had that look. They casted that girl with that look.
Exactly. And she's in the. She didn't. I would have ran all of those people over.
I would have too.
And
I was surprised she got away. I thought they were gonna just go like mob on her car. And
all she did
trap
was
her in
just
there.
honk. I would have ran over all those people.
I know.
You shouldn't have been crowding around and scaring me. That's not cool. That's what you get.
Yeah, when in doubt, hit the pedal.
Yeah,
get out.
go.
We find out later from Janice that it's actually a tactic that these cults use. It's called street theater.
Which, yeah, that's
And
like such a weird thing.
There's actually foot soldiers that act out the duties that the main leader calls out.
I want to see a documentary on this or Dateline.
It is really
Oh,
fascinating.
Dateline would
Yeah.
be fun.
Yes.
Movie night.
But also really scary though.
Yeah.
Whenever you dig into things like this and you learn more like what do you say it was, street theater, it's like it becomes more real and you start thinking like, okay, next time I'm at a shopping mall, is this gonna happen to me? Like, are people gonna street theater around me? Like, do some Macbeth in the parking lot or
You
something?
just got street theater.
Yeah. What the hell? God. So they do more digging, and Ben finds traffic cameras that show the stalker, the guy who was in her apartment, was in Isabel's apartment, who also appeared outside of her car. They found him getting into a car and getting to where the food trucks were. And they tracked him down. They figured out his name.
Clark Jennings.
Clark Jennings, which kind of sounds like a, I
Fairly
don't know,
normal name.
adult
For a
fiction
stalker-
novelist or something.
For a stalker, that name was kind of uninspiring. I thought they were going to give us something a little
I
more.
feel like Clark is pretty stalkery. Clark.
See, I agree with
Hi, my name's
Anastacia.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if you say it like that,
Hi,
you
I'm
win. Yeah,
Clark.
I can do it. Hi, Clark.
God. Stop with the theater already. God. So he, by the way, is also about to inherit
2.5, I think.
$2.5 million.
Right.
He gave $25,000 to I wrote it down. What was it?
TCF LLC.
TCF LLC.
Yes.
And
So that leads them to believe that the cult is after Isabel because she has money.
Yeah.
Right. But is that really what they were after?
No.
As we find out, Jade, it indeed is not.
What?
They end up going to what they think is Clark's house, which I guess it still is.
Yeah, it was
Clark.
still his house.
And that's where they find the cult. They walk in to the room. And by the way, the back door is always open. Why do people not lock their back doors?
And that's so not realistic of Los Angeles. I feel the first thing you do is you lock your doors.
Especially a house that big in Chatsworth.
Yeah.
Would have alarms. And there was no cars outside.
There was just the van.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
the
people...
creepy van.
The creepy van.
Maybe because it was there's a cult
they live
living
there,
so they
that's
go
right.
in and out all the time, and they didn't think twice about it. But I mean, they should be more careful if that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I imagine it does kind of get a little hard to control 35 people with the
Right.
door lock.
Not if you're a cult leader. That's like
Yeah, Abraham needs to,
he needs to have better
Needs to get
control
on it.
over his people.
Weird scene when they walk in, though. People in a
they
circle
hear-
chanting, and you hear the girl going, no,
screaming.
no. So
And then they see her, and she freaks out that it's the cops. And then the whole meditation stops. And then Beth and Jack get introduced to Abraham. That's when we're first introduced to Abraham.
I don't know that I would be bold enough, like Jack and Beth, you just walk in and be like, hey, what's going on? What you guys doing? Like a book club or...
And
Right.
Beth's heels were so high. You're not prepared to go to battle in those 5-inch heels.
Or she is. Think about that, Jade.
No.
She could use them.
gets real.
She could use them. Hashtag Beth gets real. She
They're
could
probably
use 'em.
secret weapons. She takes them off and then does her
Ladies.
stuff with them.
Ladies. 5-inch heels. Not you.
Not for me, but Beth. Can
No,
pull them
Beth.
off.
No, she needed like a work boot,
A work boot, like a steel toe boot.
like a loafer, or something.
A loafer?
Some New Balances.
Because that's intimidating.
But she can run. She can run in some shoes.
Penny
though.
loafers
Yeah, I was just saying.
that she got from BOGO.
Okay. Hands up. I submit to arrest. Are those New Balance 409s? That's intimidating.
If they are, you're going to be able to definitely chase me down in those.
Abraham.
So Abraham, we're introduced to Abraham.
What did you guys think of Abraham? I thought he was totally normal. I was like, oh, he's
Oh, I
cool.
was creeped out.
What?
Really?
From the start.
What?
Yeah,
There
I thought
was
he was
something
normal.
really unsettling about
Me
him.
like, Jade, you got
Jade.
me.
I know
Wait, from
you're
the very beginning, because he was so open. He was like, take a look around. But I really didn't get creeped out by him.
I know you're happily engaged.
Okay, I
But
thought he
this
was
leads
cute.
me
I thought
to
he was
believe.
cute.
This leads me to believe you have some crazy ex-boyfriends. Like, holy crap!
I did think he was cute.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't think he was cute.
Thank
I
you,
was
Jade.
creeped out.
Yeah, straight up creepy.
From the person who liked Perry?
I mean, Perry's
Okay,
got
first of
some
all-
redeeming
Way hotter
qualities
than
about
Perry.
him.
The name
Camp, sorry, we're talking
Abraham.
Pop Boys now. Just 1
Yeah.
second. She was way cuter than Perry.
Yeah, but there is something really creepy about him, and I mean that unfolded later on in the episode when he like full on became a cult leader.
But there's nothing creepy about Perry.
Oh no, there is, but
Just not.
not on that level. It was different.
But Ray, though, am I right?
Yeah, right.
Am I right? Nice, clean-shaven Ray.
Ray doesn't do it for me. Did you think Ray was cute?
No.
I think Ray was cute.
I think
No.
Ray is attractive in a you might kill me
we
kind of
would
way.
never fight for the same guy, so that's good. We don't.
I know. We didn't say friends. It's cool.
We all called
Yeah,
dibs on
exactly.
guys.
Those are the type of friends I look for. That's
Let's
what I look
just
for in a
say,
friend.
let's just say, to be very clear, if Abraham was knocking at Jade's door, she would answer.
But would Oscar be there too? Because then I'd be like, any, mini, miny, mo.
Okay.
Like kid in the candy store.
So they ask
Cam's like,
Abraham. They ask Abraham about Clark. Where's Clark at? What's going on? He says he hasn't seen him in a few weeks.
Right.
Which I never really connected the dots with that one.
He killed him. He banged him up. He
I
drowned
guess that's
him.
probably true.
He's like, we baptized him and he never came back
but
up.
why would Clark go after Isabel if like he had already been out of the house for a couple weeks? That's what I couldn't connect.
Wait, I
you
don't
guys
think.
know?
Wait, Clark was going after Isabel?
Yeah.
Wait,
Clark
the guy
is
in the
guy.
first
License.
scene was Clark?
That's the connection I made. Am I wrong?
I think he was
Yeah.
doing it for Abraham, though.
Yeah, he was like a messenger.
But then why wasn't he?
Why wasn't he still there? Why was he out of the
Yeah.
picture?
Well,
I get what
he
you're
was
saying.
out getting another person. He was out messaging.
Oh,
He was spreading the message.
Again in the parking lot scene.
Yeah, that was him.
He was
but at the house, like, why did he go missing?
I think his mission was just to get him for Abraham.
So he's just like that
soldier
guy.
in that mission.
Yeah.
And obviously Abraham is very manipulative, so he just told him, hey, go.
And I think it supported their theory that they were after her for her money.
Okay.
So that's why that played a factor. That's why that was brought up.
And Abraham knew if he went, then she would have recognized him right away, so he had to send someone else to go get her.
Because, am I jumping it where I talk about how, so her friend, what's her name?
Lucy.
Lucy brings Lucy and Lizzie. Now you know
Isabel.
Isabel.
Lucy brings Izzy.
Coffee.
We'll call her Izzy, not Lucy.
Well, she brings her friend to this meeting, and they're drinking wine. Red flag, don't drink the Kool-Aid and you're drinking wine.
Yeah.
And then she takes the sip, and she's starting to feel it's a little strong, and she looks at Abraham, and she does remember him.
Yeah, that is true. So if he went out to do the digging himself, people would potentially recognize.
She would notice him, and she would immediately know, and then the case would have been solved.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, they were neighbors for years.
Yeah. So she recognized him, and so now she's passed out, and her friend is saying, "Hey, what did you do to my friend? Like, this wasn't
right." She said that she came here willingly. You didn't need to do that.
Right.
And I thought Lucy was in it for a while. Because they hadn't brought her up again since she was in the questioning room with her. So I'm like, Lucy is definitely involved in this. And then especially when she brought her to the cult. And then I started feeling bad for thinking it was Lucy.
Lucy got manipulated too.
Yeah, she got manipulated, but I mean, she's the one that got her friend and all that in that sticky situation to begin with. So.
But she was into it innocently too, though, right?
Yeah,
The astronomy thing.
Picture the real reason of bringing her in.
Right. No, and when she started to realize everything was wrong, Abraham banged her head up against the wall.
Yeah. It got violent.
Knocked her out.
It's fine. Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I wasn't expecting to see that happen.
What I find interesting is, like, we see whenever Jack and Beth are there and they do like the tour of the house, we're all watching this going, "This is a pretty nice place."
Yeah, it was
super nice. It looked like
flooring.
It looked like Passages, Malibu, like where you go for rehab.
Yeah,
never been.
Passages.
Anna, you've been?
No, you guys know.
No, I've heard of it.
The commercial. Yeah, Lindsay.
Rehab. Yeah.
Lindsay Lowe, all the homies.
Giving you a hard time.
One time.
Well, Abraham says that they've been waiting for Lucy and that she's the highest
sphere. Yeah, something like that.
In the constellation.
And so she wakes up getting baptized in the water and everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the thing is, going back to the wine for just a second, just going in, if you ever go into a situation where there's, 32, 33 people in the house, it's like if you ever go in a situation where there's 33 people in a house and it's all about you, for some reason, it's like, start to be suspicious because something's going down.
Yeah, y'all want to talk to me?
Yeah, like, this isn't like a get together, we're all gonna
Or maybe she's like, finally, I'm the life of the party.
And I also, just really quickly, the whole, it was called New Age Mysticism, Astronomy, and with Hard Reality. I thought that one was LA to be into zodiac and astronomy because I know some people who are, but this girl Isabel coming from a small town and then being brought into that situation with the chakras and the meditation, it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, and it's a little intense. You gotta like ease somebody, like go to acupuncture first or something.
That's not the type of religion that you usually have in a small town somewhere.
No. I mean, I'm from the Midwest, and I can tell you that does not. I've never come across that.
It'd be like a shock of what?
Yeah, I was thinking about that for me. What if a friend in LA had been like, "Oh, come to this thing," and there's like,
it kind of made sense for her because she had just gone through that situation, the scare. So and she's new to LA, and she trusts Lucy. So she goes into the situation, and she's like, "Oh, everyone's so nice here."
Yeah.
But I think after she recognized Abraham, she had that moment where she was like, "Okay."
Well, she still when she saw Abraham, I mean, she was getting a little drugged, but she still didn't look scared because she was never scared of Abraham / Robert. She always saw him as a family friend. So she was like,
no, she knew something.
He was a little bit older than her.
Yeah, he was older, but she wasn't afraid of him. She said he was a family. She was like, he was a family friend when my parents died. He did try to get her, but I don't think she ever thought he was trying to stalk her or kill her. He was just like the guy over there. So I think when she first saw him, she wasn't like, oh my gosh, you've stalked me in the past. I think it was more like, wait, I know you. She was trying to figure it out, but I still don't think she was like super threatened, because even when he was trying to baptize her, you would think that after he pushed her down multiple times, you'd like submit. You just say, okay, but she was like, you're crazy. Like she wasn't intimidated by him.
Fought back a little bit.
How about that baptism, by the way? Now, I've been baptized before, and I can tell you, it was exactly like that. No, it was nothing like, holy crap. Is that what everybody goes through in that thing?
In the middle of a lake with 30 people dressed in white surrounded.
It's not like, okay,
that was a
slowly dunk you. Yeah, it was a drowndism.
Wait, are they baptizing or are they killing her?
I was confused for a moment. I didn't think that he would kill her because he was in love with her. But there came moments where it looked like she was going to drown.
I think he was about to. Like, she said something to him that was super slick. But he was just like, you know what? I'm sick. Maybe I'm regretting this. And he was ready to do. And then the cops came.
Yeah. And how was everyone okay with it? Because I'm thinking, if everyone is into stars and astronomy and it's innocent and they're watching someone get drowned and everyone's just like,
well, they all did it too, so it's all just.
But I don't think he forced them. Like he had to force her because she didn't want to be there and drug her. Everyone else probably did the way you got baptized, willingly, went underwater,
like a peaceful, nice, calm.
Well, maybe thought since she was the special one that she had to go through a different initiation.
That's probably how he pitched it to everyone. So they were like, "Oh, yes, this is all right."
Yeah, but I like how everybody like just assumed that even though it was a special one, like, oh, it's especially violent this time. Like, you think it would be like, oh, like even more calm, even more pleasant.
There was somebody in the back like, hey. Is it just me or he's getting a little aggressive with her?
He's like, hey, what's up with Abe, man? What's going on? Yeah. And where's Clark? Yeah. Clark is not here today. Clark is never here.
What happened to Lucy?
Right. Yeah. Hey, what happened to the girl that brought the...
Right.
That's why we're not in the cult, because we question too much.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
A good thing.
Yeah.
Jack and the gang, LAPD, come in, and Jack lays a nice punch, by the way. Ooh. Jack lays a nice punch.
Don't they always make great timing?
Always great timing.
Always. I like to think that's exactly how it works in the real world, but we all know that's not true.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Just how it works in Beth and Jack's world.
I just thought I'd bring down the room for a second.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Why did I say that?
And that's the end.
Scene.
This isn't real.
Any other thoughts? Any other reactions to the storyline with Isabel and Oscar and Abraham?
No.
I was just going to say Kevin Williamson likes his cults because the following is all about cult leaders and followers. So I think there's a little bit of that in this episode.
It makes you think, like, what has he had any experience with it? You know?
I think he's had experience with stalking, but
with stalking,
I don't know what his involvement
he has.
With cults are.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out. Let's call him.
Yeah. Google it, baby.
Let's baptize him or something. I don't know. Let's go for it. Let's remind everybody to subscribe to this here show, Stalker, on AfterBuzz TV via iTunes. Subscribe. We'll pop up on your phone every week. Rate us 5 stars while you're there. We like the stars. We shoot for those stars. SoundCloud, YouTube, all that. Keep them coming. Use the hashtag ABTV Stalker. What did we think of Ray and Perry this week?
Well,
I think what I predicted last week is starting to show more, which was that the tables were going to turn a little bit and Ray was going to be more aggressive with Perry, and Perry was going to start getting scared.
Yeah. Perry is getting so scared.
Yes, and he's very obvious about it. Yeah. I thought it was so funny when he was like, let's talk about a code of conduct. Yeah. Saying this to a mental patient.
Yeah, a code of conduct.
Perry's trying to rationalize with the wrong person.
Oh, when Ray comes, he's like, where have you been? It's like, again, Perry, you know, haven't you learned your lesson the last time you tried
His
to
lip was
Ray?
Still busted in this episode. What, from last week? I'm like, you didn't learn?
Like, oh. And then he pulls out the gun, and then Perry's like, hey, since when did we agree to use guns here?
Well, before that, he pulls out all of the pictures, right, of Beth's friends / the detectives.
And he starts making that stalker wall that we're all so familiar with.
Yeah.
His stalker professionally. His stalker.
What was it called on CNN? It was like the magic map when it was like a...
On what?
On CNN, it was called like the magic map.
Oh, in the back? Yeah, something like that.
It was it's like Perry's magic map.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So he starts making his magic map, and Ray's like getting super big eyes about it. And Perry, then he starts questioning, like, wait, what are we gonna do? Like, what? I mean, how are we gonna hurt them? He just wants to intimidate them. Then I started thinking, like, Perry, like, what were you planning to do this whole night?
Right.
You wanted to scare her,
Right.
or what?
Yeah.
He just wanted to intimidate her and keep
then
her
what?
away from her family. I don't think he thought past that.
I was gonna say, I don't think he thought it through.
But here's what I love about the introduction of the character Ray a few episodes ago. Every time you see him and Perry together, you think like, oh, Perry's the normal one.
Yeah.
Like, Perry seems like the average stalker.
You feel bad for Perry
You
now.
do.
You're
And
told you.
You see him rationalize and try to reason with Ray more like a normal human being would with somebody who they think is being a little bit weird. Like, oh no, why don't we code of conduct, we'll figure it out, and like, we could just scare him, right?
Right.
It's
That's
like,
why
I
I
don't
think-
do code of conduct.
That's why I think there's actually a redeeming quality about Perry.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked last week about how we want him to be helped by Beth eventually.
That was my prediction that that would happen.
Well,
So now you kind of see that he's really not as crazy as Ray, and there's a chance for him to...
not as crazy as Ray.
I know, that's saying...
Ray's crazy.
Ray has no redeeming quality.
I think that
you're right. You're absolutely right.
I think Perry just he wants to get revenge just by making Beth feel the way that he feels, basically alone and all that stuff. But he specifically said, I don't want to physically hurt her. So it's like he doesn't even want to like flick her or anything. He just wants to do nothing.
He wants to mess with her mind.
Not even like a spitball or wet willy or nothing.
Yeah. He doesn't want to hurt anybody.
No boo-boo.
No boo-boos.
Which kind of surprised me. I didn't think he was that, like,
No.
shy about it.
I thought he was going to get to a point where he said, okay, you know what, Ray? You obviously should take the lead on this.
Wait, what about
help
the cartoon, the comics, where he's like choking her?
But that's what I'm saying. It was
The writers were like, no.
Ooh.
I think it shows that he didn't plan on acting on his actions.
That was just a form of letting it out.
Expression. Yeah. I think that's what you're realizing. Oh, he wasn't gonna really.
Maybe he wanted her to find that and then just scare her. Like, so it was not physically hurting her, it was just scaring
mental,
her.
right? It was all just a mental
hurt.
thing.
Yeah.
It was all a mind game, and now it's becoming more of a reality than Perry thought, because he made up in his mind, in his imagination, how he was going to control everything with him and Ray. Mm-hmm. And then Ray pops him in the mouth and buys a gun, so there goes that plan.
I liked when he said, I didn't know we were buying guns. We already said that, but when Ray points the gun at him and says, scared? Because he said, I thought we were just going to scare people, and then he pops up, you scared?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that scene.
Right. It was cool.
By the way, let's talk about their hotel room. If you're going to be like shacked up in this place for a while, at least get one with a TV.
You mean motel?
Motel room.
Motel.
This place is like...
Well, I'm surprised that Ray is still staying there. I mean, he knows how to get a gun.
know.
He knows how to get a haircut and shave. Why is he still staying there with Perry?
Does he not know how to sneak a room in like the Westin downtown or
I
something?
think he wants to get intel from Perry, because Perry knows, like, who she's close to, and, you know, he talked about Tracy, and you talked about Janice and how she should be targeted because, you know, of said reasons.
So he's using him still for information.
He's not done with Perry yet. I think.
I thought it was interesting that he suggested that Jack and Beth were sleeping together. So I wonder if he had eyes on them or he's spying on them.
I mean, Jack does kind of look like Beth's type if you look at Ray and then you look at
Just
Jack.
saying.
Like, I'm seeing a reoccurring theme here. Beth.
By the way, let's hop into that. Do you guys think Jack and Beth are going to sleep together? Do you think they're going to end up together? Or do you think
Yes.
Amanda's going to take it? We talk about this almost every week now.
Well,
But what do you think after watching this one?
It's going to be a love triangle.
I don't think there's any Amanda. That's what I think.
Oh, so we'll save that for predictions.
That was
Sorry,
That was startling.
It's bad blow to her head.
that was startling though. Like
Totally
we'll
forgot
talk about that in a
that.
second, but I still can't get over that
Okay.
happened tonight.
Well,
Just have to be like,
obviously,
that did happen. You guys are acting like Amanda's still skipping around.
That's like me being in denial. That was
Backtracking.
second to the fire. Yeah.
to Jack and Beth, I like that they're getting a lot closer. He's taking his pants off.
Yeah.
when he's I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah, go back to
And he plays
episode
her
1.
Brazilian nuts.
Yeah, Brazil. I know.
Key to her heart.
That means if he has to go to the bathroom, he walks there in his underwear.
and then she
That's
might
a sign.
be in her bed like.
And she was kind of in her little nightie too.
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, girl, where your pants at?
Yeah, that's why I assumed at the beginning of the episode that
Who
they.
does that though? Oh, that was good. Okay,
He
can you
wouldn't
go
be
on the couch, now?
Yeah.
That's true.
Is that what happens to you?
Well,
Wake up on the couch.
every week, Anastacia turns to me and says that phrase.
Is that you?
No, it can't. Is it?
Yeah, viewers want to know,
Oh
right?
man,
Yeah.
viewers want to know and make me
let
have
your
Perry
fans-
We
hair.
know where Cameron will be on the Valentine's Day on someone's couch with his pants on.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Go, Cam. Go. We're rooting for you,
Oh,
Cam.
you guys. Ben and Janice are like hardcore pitching Jack and Beth now too.
They
Yeah.
are. They're just the little peanut gallery that is not
It's
minding
like
their own business.
Janice and Jack never happened. She's totally all for it.
I feel like the writers changed their mind. Like,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
nobody will remember that happened.
Yeah,
We remember.
we
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
But it's cool though. Janice seems like she's happy for her homegirl. Like, go on,
Yeah.
Beth.
yeah, yeah.
I
seems
liked how
happy.
Jack asked Beth, "Do you like Korean food or Korean barbecue?"
Right.
Yeah, how's that Korean place by your house? Yeah, I've been there. It's pretty good.
And she
Okay,
was like,
Beth.
"Oh, you're planning dinner," but it really was like, "Oh, you're planning a date."
Yeah.
And he was like,
He
but
was
you have no
planning
food
it.
in your house, so
Why she gotta go ruin it like that though? Why can't she just be like, yeah, I've tried it, it's good, and then he'll be like, okay, let's
she
go.
ain't come all the way around. She's still working
Yeah.
on some things.
She's
for
playing
sure.
the game,
Yes.
Cameron.
It's like court me.
If you're playing a game, put your pants back on. That's all I'm
I
saying.
know. Wear some pajama
Jeez
pants.
Louise.
Those little boxer shorts, girl.
Little tiny bit of tension at the beginning of the episode with Amanda and Jack because
Right.
Ethan got picked up by Jack and Amanda didn't know about it, but that kind of blew over.
Like, how is your 7-year-old coordinating?
Text.
Valid point, Jade.
I was thinking that
Texting at
too,
that
but
age?
text. Yeah, I feel like it
It's just funny that he
Scary.
just totally just
was like, "Hey, Dad, can you pick me up?" Yeah. Cute.
I would have been mad too as a mom. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I need to know where my kid is at all times and
Yeah.
who's with my kid.
But he's
Reasonable.
probably assuming that Ethan, like the mom, knew, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, text your dad."
yeah, that was just funny. Because he's so cute.
He's adorable.
But
God.
Amanda's totally coming around. I see it.
She's yeah, like she almost said whenever Jack said Ethan asked if he could stay the night, and she dropped him off, and he's like, "You want to stay?" She almost said yes. She was
did.
on the verge
but
of
then
saying
she
yes.
thought, I need a break and I'm going to have some Merlot on a bubble bath. You guys have fun.
With your television on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
Okay.
Dad, why's your TV on the ground?
Because it's cool.
Anastacia had like a big problem with the TV on the ground.
I did. I had a huge problem with it. If I was 18 to 23, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Not that I'm not in that range. But I'm just saying, I mean, he has like a full-time job. He's TAU. His TV should have been, I mean, he could have bought one really quick from IKEA or Target.
Okay, there's no such thing as buying anything really quick from IKEA with all the things
I mean,
you
he
have to do
could've-
to assemble it.
Okay, yeah, you're right, not IKEA. But he could have put it on
I
a
follow
chair or
you.
something.
I know, I follow you.
I just
It
love
was
how
on the ground.
Yeah.
I love how Ethan just
It
bought
was.
it. It was cool. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
bought
it's
it.
cool.
He's like,
Ethan's
it is
like,
cool,
yeah,
actually.
all right.
He's like, okay, Dad, yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, Dad, let's put everything on the ground.
I mean, Jack is a catch. He's got like a great job. He's gonna entertain girls. Jade, I hear you wanting to say something. I feel it.
I mean, I just feel that maybe he just needs a woman's touch.
So you,
Yes. That's probably what they're trying to show.
Yeah. Or he's just so consumed with his job that hasn't been a priority.
so you would date someone that had a TV on the ground.
It's not about
Cameron
me right
needs to know right now if he needs to stop at Target.
I'm running home, put my freaking TV up. Holy crap.
Yeah. I've been in debt with that. Yeah, no, I would be like, hey, sir.
Regardless of the TV, Amanda should have stayed because she did not end up having a good night.
And she has competition now. She doesn't realize.
She didn't get that Merlot and bubble bath she was looking forward to. She should have stayed for that slice.
Every time you guys say that about Amanda, I forget that happened to her.
So basically what happens is that Amanda's getting ready to get in her car, and Ray comes up to her and says, excuse me, and she turns around. He takes his hand and goes brat to her head against the car, and she's knocked out. And
happens so quick.
He grabs her purse to make it look like a robbery.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of the head banging this episode.
Yeah.
First Lizzie and then
Abraham and Ray.
It happened so quick. She was like, I'm gonna go in my car, and then it was like, excuse me, poof. Like it was that. Oh god.
Well, can we also talk about the music? The music had me so angelic. It was like, hey, Sarah.
And you're still just like relishing in that scene between Jack and Ethan, and then all of a sudden, boom.
You're like sweet daddy
and then
moment.
Janice and Ben, that one scene. That's when I thought it was going to go down. But after we passed that, it was like, it's ending good.
Right. And it was like, oh, happy ending. No.
Speaking of, for that scene,
no, go ahead.
Foreshadowing that Janice is going to be the next target of Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, man.
And it's good to know she's on her guard, but who knows if she's going to be like that when
It's
Ray
so scary.
goes after her.
They're all getting hunted down one by one now. Mm-hmm. By Ray. By facial hairless Ray.
You just got the mother of his child.
We don't know if she is or isn't.
Well, we don't know. Well, I mean, I know because that pool of blood pouring underneath her head was no sign. Just saying. But no, I'm saying that we don't know. Even if she does make it, I'm just saying that she's the mother of Jack's child.
Sure.
So now it takes it to a whole nother level.
And not only that, she's deputy DA. So she took down one of the big players in the police.
Yeah. So it's one of those. If you thought everyone was protective over Beth, it's like the more you mess with the family, the more you're going to have in store for yourself when they catch you. It's not going to end well for Ray.
I hope not. I hope it doesn't end well for Ray. That would be awful. I know. God.
Well, okay.
Ray gets the cult house.
Yeah, I know. Ray moves into the cult house.
They're like, hey, you know what? Just have it. It's
Ray
fine.
becomes the cult leader,
and then it turns into the following.
Exactly.
Any other reactions to the episode before we get in predictions?
I'm ready for predictions.
Let's hit it. Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Teresa La, what do you got?
Me first. So I think Ray means business, and he obviously went over after Amanda.
Yeah.
I think Ethan is going to be sought after as well, because now that Jack and Ethan have this really special bond, and Ray really wants to knock Jack down. Mm-hmm. We see it in that scene. He's really passionate about Jack. So I think Ethan's going to play a role in knocking
That
Jack
might
down.
be why he went after Amanda to get to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there.
I like it. Jade, what do you got?
For my prediction?
Yes.
Gosh. Well, I saw in the preview that it does not end well for Perry.
Allegedly, yeah.
Like we said last week.
It's not ending well for Perry. Perry's has become disposable for Ray.
Yeah.
And I think that Amanda, I think she's actually gonna make it. I don't want her to die. I don't want her character to die off.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call the writers and let them know that. You don't want them to die.
Tweet them right now.
Jade.
Anastacia, what do you got?
I'm sticking with my prediction from last week that I think Beth is going to save Perry, somehow going to save the day. And I'm hoping, I'm going to go with you, I'm hoping that Amanda is still alive. And that's all I got for right now. I'm sticking with last
I have to
prediction.
side with Jade on this one. I think Perry comes to an end next week. Just from the trailer at the end of tonight's episode, he's in the trunk. It looks like he's in a trunk.
He
It
looks
looks
like
like
he's
Beth.
beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, it looks like Beth freaks out because she sees him. She looks really scared next week. So I think we're going to see in episode 17 a different side of Beth, a truly terrified side of Beth. I also think we see Ben get shot next week. I think he's going to get shot, but he's going to live. And Janice is going to be by his bedside. And that's going to be the start of their relationship. I think there's going to be a romance there.
Question
I saw it this
for you
week.
guys. So Ray says that his whole strategy is to get Beth's family so that eventually she would say, like, hey, stop, like, I want you guys to just deal with me because I don't want my family to be hurt.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be the situation?
Ooh.
You think I'll get that far?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good standoff episode.
I think so. I could see that happening. That would be a good standoff.
You know what? I think Beth is going to kick Ray's ASS.
I think they're going to set Ray up somehow. Like, they have to be able to pull him in somewhere so they can all tag him together. They're going to hire the cult from this
That's not a bad idea. It's not bad.
Like, hey, Abraham.
Hey, Abe, do us a solid. We know you're behind bars, but let's work something out.
Yeah.
Honest Abe. All right, well, I think that's it for predictions. Why don't we hit some news and gossip real quick and read a few comments?
Yeah.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Now, I want to thank the usuals. We got Bree this week, Jan Van Ness, Joseph Boza, the regular commenters who all loved last week's show and last week's after show. I know that we have a couple new commenters this week, so I want to hop on those. Mike Blanchard says, hey, Stalker hosts, I've been listening to the podcast since episode 01. I generally listen in iTunes. Thank you so much, Mike, for subscribing. And he said with this week's Stalker episode, there was a line when Perry says, you can have Michelle and I can have Beth. Wait, what? She's one person, Perry. What drugs is that character on? Any thoughts on this, hosts? I don't remember you pointing this out in the episode. Keep up the great work. What'd you guys think of that line? I do remember that line.
Yeah. That's what I think it really does show how delusional
Ray is.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's really kind of weird.
It
It's
just
crazy.
really brings out the sickness.
Yeah.
But, ooh, Ray.
And you see the separate...
You know, like in the Lion King, ooh, Mustafa.
Another new one this week, Brittany Kitchens, who says, I'm brand new to the Stalker show and after show. I'm so ecstatic there's an AfterBuzz for it. Thank you, Brittany. She said, the show is amazing. I love that it makes the viewers think and keeps us on our toes. For this episode, I have a feeling Perry is now becoming obsessed with Ray more than Michelle and Beth.
Well, he has to now. He has to watch his back. Now he's like, wait a second, what are all the reasons you were in this psych ward for?
That's an interesting one.
If I were Perry, I would so turn myself in.
Yeah, at this point, he
Yeah.
doesn't have any more moves.
I agree.
Like, oh,
Jade.
Ray, you're leaving for a few hours?
Yeah, Perry has money. He has Whitley money.
Call
he
your
needs
daddy. Call
like, can you put him back in the ward?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a good point. I think I would, too. Not that I would ever be in that situation,
But if
being a soccer.
Right, but yeah, I would be like, this isn't working.
You're not following the code of conduct.
Yeah.
That was the best line.
Best ever.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up for us tonight.
No.
Why don't we tell the people where they can find you, Teresa?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Teresa Jane.
You can find me on Twitter, Real Jade's World, and on Instagram, Jade's World.
And you can find me on Instagram at Anastacia Waller.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Only Camshaft. And Sundays here on AfterBuzz TV, I do Shark Tank as well. Use the hashtag ABTV Stalker. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.